I'm about to begin the shocks for the G-Made Sawback. These are completely unique shocks. I've never built any shocks like this before. I'm going to struggle through the building of the first one, and then I'll elaborate a little bit on the second one and get the third and fourth ones knocked out. I will be using G-Made's grease, the included grease that comes with the kit for these shocks, because these are not oil filled. They just require some grease on these silicone O-rings that go here. So I'll be using their own, I believe this is white lithium grease, whichever, it comes with the shocks, so that's that. Inside the bag for the shocks, you get a couple bodies, the stems, a little bit of hardware, and the mounting brackets. Also in the hardware are the springs that are mounted internally. So like I said, I'll struggle through the first one and then do a little explanation on the second one, and then zip through the third and fourth. So these shocks go together super easy. There's really not much to them. Two O-rings that go on this stem, one in the front on the top and one in the mid. A spring that goes inside the shock body, and a simple tiny little clip, C-clip. Zoom in a little bit. There it is. Tiny little C-clip that goes in. This is a extremely small, delicate C-clip, and luckily they gave you, I think, 4 extras in case you break it or lose it. But the shocks go together extremely easy. This silicone O-ring is a bit hard to get onto the stem. You have to do a bit of pulling to pop it down on there. I put the first one on the top so that the second one will be easier to slide down the shaft. Just stretch it on around. It won't just slide over. At least these ones that I have will not. So you gotta grab them and pull them a little bit. I'd be a little careful about pulling them, as they don't give you replacement O-rings. You see, now I got it on, and I'm gonna slide it right on down into the second position, and it kind of snaps right in. And they ask you to grease it a little bit. I'm using probably more grease than they recommend, but I always want my shocks well lubed. So I'm using a brush to grease it on, to wipe the grease on, because I don't see another way. Get those greased up pretty well. Drop the spring into the shock body. Slide the stem on in right behind it. There's a little bit of excess grease there. Just wipe that off. And then there's a process of sticking this tiny, ridiculous little pin in. This is going to be very hard to demonstrate on camera. I'm going to do the best I can. What happens is it basically slips around this shaft. Then you have to stick the round end inside and clip it down while you're holding this down. Gmade does an excellent job of making sure that they frustrate the hell out of you when you're building your shocks. So you get one side in, and then you kind of push the flat side down in there. I may end up having to pull this off camera just so I can get it to snap. Actually, it just went in. You can barely see the clip sitting in there. And I'll stop and snap a picture real quick. A picture won't even do it justice. It's in there. There's a small channel that it fits into. But what that does is stop the stem from coming back out. So there's a complete Sawback shock. These just supplement the leaf springs that are already on the truck. I'm not sure how effective they will be. I think the combination will be effective. But there's a Gmade shock. Pretty simple. I'm just going to slap the other two together, and then we'll get them mounted on the truck. So here's the 4 shocks assembled. They went together pretty good. The only thing I suggest that you check out is that your ring is seated so that the stem doesn't pull out very easily. It's actually a very simple process compared to the G transition shocks from Gmade. I did not want to pull my hair out while I was building these, so that's a good thing. They're pretty responsive. Not enough on their own. They definitely need the leaf springs to kind of support them. There's not much tension there at all and no way to adjust them. So those are Gmade Sawback shocks.